Now, we need to in the last class we have studied that it should have a gear tooth should have a sufficient strength so that it will not fail under static and dynamic loading. So we need to know the strength of the gear tooth so that we can assure the continuous performance without any failure. So how to know the beam strength? The strength means it is the capacity. Okay? Strength means it is the capacity or the load capacity, that is up to what load that the beam can take. Okay. So now consider one single tooth of the gear. Okay. Gear can have so many number of tooths, but we will consider only one tooth. That is one tooth of a driver is pushing the another tooth of the driven gear. But here in this, if you see, there will be more than one gear will engage at the same time. Okay, but there are some instances where only one gear will transfer the complete load. Only one gear tooth will transfer the complete load on the another gear tooth of the driven gear. So we will consider only one gear tooth of the driven gear or driver gear to transmit the power. Okay, so what we can see is this is the direction of load. Okay, so that is F. Okay, F is the load that is acting on one gear tooth. Okay, can we resolve this?
Yes,
One
sir.
gear tooth on is the load acting on one gear tooth, and we can resolve this into horizontal and vertical components. Okay, so this can be called as horizontal or the tangential load, and this can be called as the radial load. Okay, so this load has been resolved into these Fp and Fr. So here F is the load on gear tooth, Fp is the load on gear tooth in tangential direction, and Fr is the load in radial direction. Okay, so this now we need to understand what is the effect of Fp on the gear tooth. So what happens to the gear tooth if because of the load Fp, whether it compresses or it elongates or it bends? So what happens?
Compression.
Fp. I'm talking about the Fp. This Fp creates bending. Okay, so it tries to bend the beam in this direction. Okay, and this Fr will try to compress the tooth. So this Fr will try to compress the tooth, and Ft will try to bend the gear tooth. Okay, but if you look at the gear tooth, we can say this is very much negligible. The effect of Fr on the gear tooth is very much negligible. Okay, so it is very much negligible. So this Fc is the load which creates the bending. Is it clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So now this is the main thing. So Ft is the tangential load that will create the deformation of the gear tooth. And now this is important. Now the strength of the beam Ft should be greater than the tangential tooth load developed due to the transmission of power. Is it clear? The strength of the beam, that is the load carrying capacity of the beam, should be more than the tangential tooth load which is created due to the transmission of power. Have you understood this statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us quantify this tangential tooth load due to the transmission of power. Okay, so the actual tangential tooth load, we call that also Ft. Okay, Ft that is equal to, what will be the tangential load? See here, I have considered only one gear tooth. I have considered only one gear tooth. Okay. And this is the axis of the gear tooth, gear, and this is the center. Okay. And this is the tangential tooth load, Ft. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what will be the bending moment? What is the expression for bending moment? It is force into perpendicular distance, right? It is force Ft into perpendicular distance r. That is the circle radius of the gear wheel. So Ft can be written as Mt by r. That is the torque divided by radius. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And for this, we will consider some service factor which is known as CS. This is service factor. Service factor means it is a constant, or it is a constant which is used to accommodate the continuous operation of the gear wheel. Okay. So if the gear wheel has to work for only 1 hour, then we can keep this value which is near to one. Or if it is need to work for continuously more than one, more number of hours, then we can change the value of service factor accordingly. Okay. So this expression can also be written as okay. This is you know that P is equal to 2 pi and T by that is P equal to 2 pi and MT by 60. So MT can be written as 60 P by 2 pi N, and if you calculate this, you will get this 9550 PCS by NR. So this is the actual tangential tooth load acting on the gear wheel, gear tooth. Okay. So FT is equal to 9550 PCS by NR is the actual tangential tooth load, where P is the power in kilowatt and N is the RPM and R is the radius. Is it clear? So this is the actual tangential tooth load. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now we need to study the strength of the gear tooth, so that we need to check whether the gear tooth have the sufficient strength to sustain this load. Okay, so we need to study the strength of the gear tooth so that it has a sufficient strength to sustain the actual tangential tooth load. Okay, and that is known as beam strength. Beam strength. Now again, I'll consider one single gear tooth. Okay, this is one single gear tooth, and it is subjected to the load F, and this is the axis of the gear, and this is the center. So this is the load, and we can resolve this into two components, Ft and Fr, and this can be neglected because the effect of this load on the compression of the gear tooth is very, very small. So we can neglect, and this is the actual load acting on it. Now we need to evaluate the value of Ft, so that if the Ft, that is the strength, is more than the actual load, then you can say that the gear is safe. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So now this Ft induces the bending stress. So So now this FP induces the bending stress, and all our design calculations should be based on the bending stress only. Okay. Now, the critical section or the section of maximum bending stress will be obtained by drawing a parabola. This is okay. So you can write a parabola. Now, what we can say is, if you remember the SSD and MD, what you have studied in the first year and second year, okay, this load, this FT induces the bending stress, and the critical section can be obtained by drawing the parabola, and the critical section will be this BC. Okay, the section BC will be the critical cross section. That means here the value of bending stress is more. At this cross section, there will be more bending stress. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
The bending stress created at this point is almost equal to 0. Okay. If you consider this point, there will be big bending stress. Okay. If you keep on moving in this direction, then the maximum bending stress will occur in the cross section BC. Okay. If the gear tooth is having a shape of parabola, then we can say each and every cross section will have the same strength. But the gear tooth is much more larger than the parabola. Okay. So the critical cross section is BC. Okay. BC is the critical cross section. Okay, that means there will be maximum bending stress occurs at BC. Okay, that is maximum bending stress occurs at BC. Okay, now that maximum stress, the maximum bending stress is given by the equation, that is sigma W, that is equal to my by I. Is it correct? Can I use this equation?
Yes, sir.
So this equation you have been using this equation from long back, right?
Sir, you are muted, sir.
Okay, the maximum bending moment sigma W is given by my by I, where m is the maximum bending moment at the critical cross section BC, and that is equal to force into perpendicular distance, that is Ft into h. Okay, so this is m, and Ft is the tangential to slope. F is tangential load acting on the tooth, and H is length of the tooth. And what is the value of Y? What is Y here?
Neutral axis to distance from neutral axis to
So that is half the thickness of the tooth at BC, that is equal to T by 2. If you say this is T, that is the thickness, then it is half of it. So it is T by 2. And what is I? What is I?
Moment of inertia.
Moment of inertia. What is the equation for it?
BDQ by 12.
BDQ by?
BDQ by 12.
So here, if I write BDQ by 12, then what is D?
So depth, sir.
Thickness.
Depth.
So it is BD cube by 12, that is correct, but it is BC cube by 12. Okay? It is not BD, it is BC, thickness. Okay, now there is sigma W that is equal to My by I, and that is equal to the M is Ft into H, that multiplied by Y is T by 2, and that divided by B T cube by 12. So this is 6, and here T has become 6 square. So this is this, I can write as T into H, and then this 6 comes to numerator, so the 6 divided by B T square. Is it correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, now here what is this? Sigma W.
Bending
What is
stress.
sigma W here? It is the maximum bending stress developed in the beam. Okay. Now I will rewrite this equation in terms of Ft. So Ft is equal to sigma W into B, sigma W multiplied by B multiplied by T square, that divided by 6H. Okay. Okay. Now listen carefully. If this maximum bending stress is replaced with allowable bending stress or permissible bending stress is sigma W if sigma W is replaced by allowable or permissible bending stress, then Ft will become the allowable limit for the tangential tooth load. Please read this, understand. Okay. That means this equation gives the strength of the beam. That is the maximum load carrying capacity of the beam. So if the strength is more than the load developed, then the beam will not fail because of the bending load. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now we'll continue from here. Okay, now this equation will give the strength, but this is not the final form. We need to reduce it further. So let T is equal to X times PC. Okay, let T is equal to X times PC and H is equal to K times PC. Okay, what is PC here? What is PC? Circular pitch. Okay, PC is the circular pitch. Here you can see the circular pitch here. Okay, and the T is the thickness of the T, right? T. Okay, so this T is a part of circular pitch. So let's say it is X times of the circular pitch. Okay, similarly H, you can express that also H in terms of circular pitch. So that's why I consider this X T is X times K times the circular pitch, where X and K are constants. Okay, X and K are constants. Therefore, this Ft cannot as sigma W into B into X square PC square that divided by 6 K PC, and here PC will get cancelled. So this can be written as sigma 2 into B PC into X square by 6 K. Okay, and now I'll make one more assumption. that is let y is equal to x square by 6k. Therefore, Ft that is equal to sigma w b Cc y. Okay, and this is known as Lewis. This is the tangential tooth load. This is known as tangential tooth load or strength. It is better to call it as strength. Tangential tooth load or strength of a gear tooth. Okay, it is better to call it as strength of the gear tooth. And this equation is known as Lewis equation. Okay, this equation is known as Lewis equation, and this equation was developed in 1982 by Wilfred Lewis, who has investigated for the strength of the gear tooth. Okay, he derived this equation, which is now extensively used by industry in determining the size and proportion of the gear tooth. And this y, the term y, is known as Lewis form factor. Okay, we will see what is the values of y in the next class. But so far you understand this. This equation gives the length of the beam, and this y is the Lewis form factor, which is the constant for the given gear. So any doubt? Any doubt?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
So we know that the gear tooth can fail due to bending and due to fitting. That is the surface fitting. Okay. Now we have considered the first one, that is the bending, and we studied about the actual bending load acting on the beam, that is one single gear tooth, and that is equal to MT by R, and that can be written as 9550 P times P CS by NR, where CS is the service factor, that is based on the how long you need to run a gear tooth, a gear, and that will see what are values, all those things in the next classes. So this FT is the actual tooth load. This is the actual tooth load acting on the gear tooth. And now we need to know the strength of the gear tooth. So for that, we have resolved the applied load. We have resolved the applied load into two components, tangential and radial. And this radial load creates the compression on the gear tooth, and which is very, very negligible. So we'll neglect that, and we'll consider the tangential tooth load, which creates the bending of the beam. Okay, so the maximum bending stress is given by sigma w, that is equal to my by I, where m is the maximum bending moment. Always we know that the maximum bending moment occurs at the fixed point. Okay, so now we can consider this beam as it is fixed along the line BC. So the maximum bending moment is Ft into Ft, that is the force multiplied by perpendicular distance, that is h. Okay, and y is half of the thickness of the gear tooth at critical cross section, that is P by 2. And h is length of the tooth, and Ft is the tangential tooth load, and I is BCQ by 12. Okay, and upon substituting, we got an equation that is which represents